Hi everyone, Angelina, Sparkling Diva. I have another wonderful reading for you with my new deck, the Earth Magic Oracle cards. There's quite a lot of cards, but I'm not using any other decks this time. It's just the Earth Magic Oracle cards. I just got them in yesterday. They're my birthday present. And I'm really happy with it because they are wonderful. They are really, really deep. This reading is on love and relationship, the relationship and the one that you really would be looking for, that wonderful, juicy, interdependent relationship that makes you, well, that takes you to happily ever after, right? And so a healthy relationship, kind of like a divine relationship. And of course, we always intend a relationship to last and to go to happily ever after. But yeah, not every relationship is meant for that. And sometimes we just have to learn some lessons from it. And that's not what this reading is about. This one is really about that one particular happily ever after, juicy, healthy, happy relationship. So I have a lot of positions, like what you bring into that relationship, what they bring into it, etc., etc. So, well, you can make your choice. It's two groups. So you're either group one. I think this is rhodonite and this is amethyst. And group two have the snowflake obsidian and the peach moonstone. So, well, please make your choice, and otherwise pause the video, because I would like to start. Don't want to get too lengthy, especially because there's so many cards, because otherwise I end up with two separate videos for one reading, and I don't like that. I'm moving these out of the way. I'm going to start with the numbers 1. So I got things still on my hands. I was mowing the lawn. I needed a break. What you bring to this relationship, we have grounding and we have the island solitude. So there's a lot of depth there, a lot of grounding, a lot of yeah, basically depth and the ability to reflect. Because there's reflection here with the island, and there's also reflection here from the tree. Tree is able to grow deep as it's tall usually, and also well, it grows wider here. It does that with its roots as well, so it's strong, stable, connecting heaven and earth. And island, well, this is basically the ability to thrive anywhere, everywhere, because if you can see, I hope it focuses, the island is quite rocky. Even though it's green, it's quite rocky. So, but there is this tree growing there with purple flowers. And the tree is doing well, you know, in spite of growing on this rocky island. So it is able to thrive and just everywhere. And still be beautiful and strong and tall and you know, stand, yeah, powerful. And solitude is also... it's different from isolation, from isolating yourself, because isolating you usually do out of fear, and solitude is more to go within and to learn and grow by taking a time out, by taking a break, and well, it's actually quite healthy. So you bring that to the relationship, you bring depth, insight, the reflection part, right, inside, the ability to do that, and also if there's problems then, right, that you can reflect upon them and work through them, and you can basically thrive everywhere because you have inner strength and you trust and you have that inner knowing. So that's really good, that's really nice. And then we're going to look at what the other person would bring to the relationship. We have generations and ebb and flow, so they would be able to go with the ebb and flow of life, knowing that sometimes it's time for action, then it's time for rest, and just also with emotions, it's basically everything, the ebb and flow of life, being able to go with that, go with emotions, go with the flow, trusting that flow, knowing that it's going to, you know, when it's ebb, it's always going to be flow again. And generations is yeah, connection, having a connection within. Because this is basically the hands, is the ancestors, and the rainbow serpent is, if I got it right, is the creator of all life on earth, according to the Aborigines in Australia. And I feel that in this case it says that he feels connected within but also without. He knows he's a part of something bigger, that he in that sense never is alone, even when he is alone. He's part of something bigger, able to see the big picture. And because of that, and that feeling, that connectedness inside, which is basically balance, right? Inner balance, he's also stable and not dependent, and because he can stand on his own 2 feet, because he knows he's connected, he knows he's part of this circle of life, so to speak. So that is a very good, a good dynamic, a very good energy as well to have in a relationship. What will the relationship be like? We have passion and we have innocence, childhood. I feel this means that it's going to be, like this, like the 2 kids, just playful, joyful, and not a lot of stress and worry. The ability to just really enjoy life and see things through the eyes like of a child almost, right? Because they enjoy things at a far deeper level because they are more carefree than we are. You know, we don't really look at the dandelions anymore and the daisies and the poppies, and kids do. You know, they can really look in wonder at things and like, wow, oh my God, that's beautiful, it's like magic. And we kind of lost that touch, but that dynamic, that energy will be there in this relationship. And not being judgmental, just playfulness, carefree, enjoying. And there is also going to be passion. So passion, well, of course, then sexually as well, but also sharing your passion. Because these kids, they are sharing, right? They're enjoying the same thing here in the outdoors. So I feel that you will have a similar passion, a same passion about something. You will share a passion, which can be a hobby, can be nature, can be just basically anything. But you will have this shared thingy, shared interest, a shared passion. And you will also have that passion between the 2 of you. So that's good. And then we have these cards for how, what will this relationship or this man bring you, or how will it influence you? We have rebirth and power. Rebirth, well, basically that rebirth, you're going to be really you. Feel good as well, and but it might be a bit of a process, like a baby being born. When it's ready to be born, right? It has waited 9 months for that, and it's ready to be born, to come into this world. But it still will have to go through the birth channel in order to get into this world, and that could be a bit uncomfortable. So this process of this rebirth process, it might be a little bit uncomfortable. Doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be, because it's meant to happen. Like a baby is meant to be born, it is meant to happen, and you want this as well, right? You're ready for it. You really are ready for it. Likely because of past experiences, maybe past relationships. You are ready now for this. Can also be that you were still, or are now at this moment still feeling the effects of a relationship that didn't end well or didn't go well, and then you will also shed that. You will really be reborn because of this man, his dynamic of this relationship, and and that also means that you are ready. You know, you needed previous experiences and past relationships to be ready for this. And the power, the lightning is also wonderful, because lightning is a very powerful energy. It's short and brief, but it is incredibly powerful. Like it has a huge impact. When lightning hits land, you have this explosion almost. It's enormous. The soil is literally burned there, and when it hits water, electricity when it hits water electrifies the water, because it conducts. I said the right word, conduces, conducts, whatever the end, it will absorb the electricity, it will also become electric. And, like you shouldn't be standing in water when there is electricity touching it, you don't want that. But it's like, it has an impact, a huge impact. So your power, because of this rebirth, you will have this power. And you can use that. It can be good or bad. Of course, you shouldn't use it for bad things, but you can have a tremendous impact by doing what you do. By you will touch other people. Then, if you want to, if you choose to. So yeah, it's almost like a phoenix. This rebirth in wonderful energy, wonderful thingy. Then we're going to what you bring him, what will, good will come out of this with you and the relationship in him. Then we have release and radiance, and I feel the release is, well, we've seen here with the ebb and flow and the ancestors that he is already in touch with the cycles of life and going with that. But I feel this is more, because this is also about that, the cycles of life and death, rebirth, blah blah, right? Autumn and then winter, then spring, summer, etc., etc. But he's already got that, and so I feel this is more about the release part, letting go. So likely he will still have to let go, release some stuff from his own past or her own past. If you're a man watching this, and from their own past, from previous relationships, maybe there is still something lingering in his system. Can also be completely not related to a relationship, but some dense energy that that he will release that. He will release that. Like the leaves in autumn, the leaves fall from the trees, they release it, and they know that there will be new leaves again. And even if they don't know that, it's just a cycle of life again. But you will help him release that, whatever it is, and that needs releasing. And you will feel radiant. Again, if you're a man watching this and you're interested in women, then it's her, right? Sorry, it's force of habit. But they will feel radiant and happy and alive. And this is also life force, right? The sun is life force. It brings us life. Like water as well. We need the sun too, sunlight. So this is really wonderful, really absolutely good. And then the synergy of this relationship. So what you create together that you cannot create apart, so to speak, the synergy. We have the iceberg, and I love that because the iceberg for this reading, I feel, there's two, right? Two icebergs, and they are touching each other, almost like they're hugging. But they're still separate entities, which is what you want in a healthy relationship, in an interdependent relationship. You both remain separate individuals, standing on your own 2 feet and sharing your life. But still, you don't merge, you don't become one. That's not the idea, then you lose yourself. And that's what you can see here. It's almost like they're hugging or kissing. And the biggest part of the iceberg is underneath the surface of the water. It's submerged. And I feel in this case that means that this relationship can last really long, because now you know this about each other, once you've met, of course, then, right? You know this, what you can see, that is known. But there's still so much to discover, because the biggest part of these icebergs are underneath the water. Meaning that this relationship can last a long time. It's never going to be boring, because you can always discover new things about each other and together, and that will change your form, because sometimes an iceberg, I suppose, I've never seen one, but I suppose they change form, right? Sometimes a piece might fall off or whatever, so the form changes. They also move. They're not, so it's not going to be stagnant. It's not going to be a stagnant situation. Icebergs move. They probably don't move very fast, but they do move. So there is movement, you're not standing still. There's growth, change, and which is growth, right? And there's a lot to be discovered in this relationship. All these bits and pieces that are underneath the water. So that's absolutely positive, very wonderful. Invocation, I also see this as very, very positive. To me, this means I've studied this card, most of this deck yesterday. I feel that this is an indication of a divine coming together of two people, because when you do an invocation, it's basically connecting heaven and earth, and so that's a coming together of two divine forces, so to speak. So I feel that it is this indicates a coming together of two people, which is divinely orchestrated. Also, when you do a ritual, an invocation, you have to use focused intent, pure intention. It has to be positive, it has to be pure. And I feel that says about the relationship that you both will have this intent and this focus on the relationship as well, meaning that you both are committed to it. You really are going to be committed. You're willing to work on the relationship if need be, put in effort, energy. You're not just simply going to go walk away from it when something goes wrong. You are really dedicated, both, and you both are going to be very committed. And then you can create wonderful new things again because of that. It's going to be a wonderful relationship, very, very passionate as well. Different kind of passion from this card. Because there is this fire, this light coming from her hands, this energy when she's hovering over the crystals, and there's also here, there is this fire here, that light. But I feel this, and look at how she's lit up, you know, she's lit up. It's fiery in that sense, but I don't feel this is this short, passionate fire that you could for instance, have with, I don't know, well, sex is a good example, of course, you know. This is really more like a divine fire, a divine thingy that will never stop burning. It will keep going. It will keep going. This is really a divine fire, this. And it might not, the flames might not be high, but it will never go out. It will never extinguish. It will always keep burning. So this is a very good sign. I really take this in a relationship reading as a as a coming together of a divinely orchestrated coming together of two people. Breach, also wonderful, because this whale, they breach the water regularly, and then they twist and they twirl and they jump and they splash and they have fun and whatever. But also he is coming out of his own environment, the water, even if it's just for a few seconds, just briefly. He's breaking out of his own, comfort zone, so to speak, into a different element, the element of air, and into the sun, and, you know, it's a different element. And I feel that in this relationship you will also have that, as like I said with the iceberg, it's not going to be stagnant. You're going to be having fun things. You're going to regularly go out of your comfort zone to do fun things, you know, not in a scary way, but in a fun way. Discovering things, having fun, doing things. Also, almost like this childhood card. You know, these kids are also going out and having fun and just, you know, not really worrying where they're going. They're just going somewhere, just enjoying it. Just fun. And getting out of your comfort zone. So it's not going to be boring. It's not going to be stagnant. It's going to be wonderful. And how you will can get this man, attract this man. We have dawn, new beginning. Again, if you're a man watching this, then it's a woman, right? Sorry about that again. Force of habit, new beginnings. I feel that you're almost there, but you will have to tap into a more positive point of view, maybe. Maybe you have been hurt and are feeling that it's not going to happen anymore, and maybe you have a bit of a negative view towards relationships or a partner. Maybe you fear getting hurt again, or maybe you've been single for a long time and losing hope and so on. That's what you have to get over. You have to, you know that the sun is going to come up for you, and yeah, there is hope. The sun is coming up, there is hope. Also, if you have been hurt in a past relationship and you're still feeling the effects of it, I feel that this is represented by these clouds above. But as you can see, the sun reflects these beautiful oranges on the clouds, yellow, orange. And so I feel that you have to find the silver lining from whatever is still bothering you. Because even if a relationship of something else, but likely a relationship ended in an unpleasant way, or they lied or cheated or whatever, there was always something there in that relationship that that was positive, that did bring you something, and you have to learn to see that. You have to find that silver lining in the clouds, so to speak, and that will help you to see the sun come up. It will also help the sun to come up and to shine its rays upon you, so you are in the light again. You will feel warm again, and so that's what you have to do. You have to let go of any negativity, so that the sun can come up. No, it is coming up. It's happening already. But you have to trust in it. You have to believe it, and then bathe in the sunlight. And then, because that will chase away any shadows that are still remaining. And new life, warmth, a new beginning. So you just have to trust that and believe in that. So I hope this resonated with you. Please let me know in the feedback. And thank you for watching it. And I'm wishing you a wonderful day. And hope I'll see you again soon, of course, with another reading. Bye. Right, moving on with the numbers 2. Let's see what you bring into this relationship. Well, that is wonderful. The lotus flower unfoldment. There's a lot in there. The ability to grow something, make something, create something from mud, so to speak, because the lotus flower grows on mud. Also knowing when you have to retreat, or when you can shine, when it's so in a way time, knowing, feeling, sensing when it's time for action, when it's time for rest, because the lotus flower at night, when the sun goes down, it disappears in the water again, and then when the sun comes up, it emerges again. And in that sense, I also feel it's being balanced on the inside, being quite empowered as a woman, because that is what an empowered woman can do. She knows when to wait in faith, have trust, and when it's time for action. Also being able to show yourself, to reveal yourself, to be really you, to show your beauty and open your heart. So that is really wonderful, absolutely wonderful card. Let's see what they bring into the relationship, or to the relationship, the shape-shifting. Clouds shape-shifting. That is also wonderful. I feel that because clouds are always changing their form and shape, and I feel that this is bringing you, or he's at least able, and he will bring that to you as well, bring out the different aspects of you, because it's always changing. So I'm basing that on the interpretation of the book, because that goes on about how you carry yourself, in the different ways you carry yourself, reveal different, it makes you feel different. I feel this is about aspects of you, of your, of your personality. And maybe you have always been more focused, so to speak, on one or two aspects of you. This man will bring out more. He will bring out more aspects of you, more petals of that flower, of that lotus flower. Likely that is why you will be able to open up like that, like a lotus flower. And also being it's like, when you look at the clouds as a kid, to see if you can see a face or a dragon or whatever in the clouds. So a bit of that imagination, a fantasy, and that means that you also have this freedom, so to speak. You can imagine and dream and fantasize, and that's good. That's really good. It is a wonderful ability, to not, because it's relaxing, it's fun. It's this is also flexibility. The clouds, because they keep changing, they're never stagnant, they're never the same, they always change form. So it's also about flexibility, being more flexible. So that's what, and then that's the qualities this man has himself as well, but he will also bring that into the relationship. So flexibility, bringing out various aspects of you, and likely the relationship will also trigger him to develop different aspects of himself. So combined, that is absolutely wonderful. A great energy. Yeah. And the dynamic of the relationship itself, it's effortless, waterfall, effortless. So it's going to be a wonderful relationship. It's just going to flow. And even when there is an obstacle, you will be able to flow past it. You will be able to work through whatever it is and then flow past it. And, you know, and yeah. This is also being flexible again. But that's, yeah, logical. Effortless is yeah, going with the flow again, being flexible. And if there is something sticking out here, a huge rock, well, then water is not going to try to get over that. It's going to find the lowest point and flow through there, over there. And yeah, and it's playful and it splashes and it's alive. And so that's, yeah, that's wonderful. I love that card. And we have Gaia, nurturing. So nurturing is basically able to give, able to receive, allowing things to just unfold, allowing things to happen naturally, because it's Gaia. I feel that's naturally. So again, we're going with the flow, the effortless, and yeah, I love this dynamic. I love this dynamic. But yeah, the only thing that you could be mindful of is that it must be make sure that you allow, right, so that you also receive, that you don't end up giving, and just nurturing the other person. But I don't think that's going to happen. I feel you will complement each other really well. So there is going to be this balance. I feel there is going to be this balance. And a lot of opportunities, because there's so much going on in her hair. I'm not certain if you can see that. There's animals in there, deer and a wolf and birds and dolphins and a tiger and Lord knows what, flowers, butterflies. There's so much going on. So there's a lot of abundance, a lot of wealth, richness in that sense, to, you know, all things that you can discover and enjoy. And yeah, it's going to be a rich relationship in that sense. And I'm not talking financially per se, I'm talking about more emotionally fulfilling, mentally, emotionally, etc. fulfilling. How will that make you feel? What will it really bring you? Harmony, inner peace. Yeah, this calm is also wonderful, because you need to be able to calm down regularly, especially if you lead a very busy life, or maybe you are more a lively person, always busy, doing. And because of this man and because of this relationship, you will be able to just find inner peace, harmony, and this quiet, that you need that quiet regularly. So then you can, after that quiet, within that peaceful stillness, you can find new inspiration, recharge the batteries. And because of that, you can then take action again, do things again, and feel really good about it. So yeah, this is absolutely wonderful. This inner harmony is beautiful. And that. So he's going to bring you an awful lot of good. What do you bring him? The wake-up call and movement. Both water. This is a tsunami. And I feel that because of that wake-up call, maybe he's been through something serious. I suddenly feel now that maybe some of them will have lost a spouse, as in being a widower or a widow. Don't know where that came from. That is odd. Of course, that will not go for all of you, but there will be a group, I think, where this other person will have gone through that. For others, it may be that they simply lost faith, trust that, healthy relationships do exist. Maybe, you know, as if they lost faith that it is possible, that it can happen, and that a wonderful person like you will just come across their path, and it's just simply working out. It just clicks, it just all fits, it just works. And I think you will have quite an impact I think this relationship and you will have quite the impact on him. You being this beautiful lotus flower, I don't think this man expected to ever find that for him. That's what it feels like. That maybe he knew it existed, but that he feels like, or she, of course, right? That it would never happen to him or her, right? That it would never happen to them. There's a complete wake up call, like wow, like being hit, like and yeah. And then the movement, the river, and then it just begins to flow. It just begins to flow, and he will go with that, and it will flow beautifully, and yeah, it's calm, but you can't see what's around the bend, but he's going to be okay. It's just gonna flow with it. Something is going to trigger this wake up call. This huge wave is then, well, clearly going to turn into that steady flow, that wonderful, beautiful river. And yeah, that's funny because a river always flows to the ocean at some point, right? So then it's back to the ocean, full circle, and we have a full moon. Huh. I think this person might have been waiting for this for quite some time. I think this person is likely has been single for quite some time. That's what I feel. Not like a year or half a year. I feel that for most this man or woman will have been alone for quite some time. And they will have settled in that, and then all of a sudden there's you. So it's like bang, like whoa, what is going on, you know? But they're going to enjoy it. They're going to love it. And how can, I'm thinking about the dynamic of the relationship. Now what you create together, the synergy, so to speak, well, celebration. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be good. It's going to be grand. Dancing, enjoying, celebration. Yeah, you're going to be really happy together. And how can you get that partner, so to speak? How can you attract them? And then we have karma, we have DNA, and that was I had to sit with that one for a bit. This is basically, this talks about there is I must check the time. Yeah, I don't want it to become 2 videos. You have a soul calling, and you have your DNA from the human DNA calling, so to speak, right? So you have a part of, there is karma, that is soul karma, and there is karma from your ancestors, from the physical, with your body, your ancestors, your physical ancestors, and that's different. And you basically can choose, because both, you can choose for this soul calling. So in that sense, follow the soul karma, or you can choose the other, which is calling you, which is the more the ancestral thing. So it's also a calling, but it's more like the higher self calling you somewhere. And the other one is a deeper calling. It's a soul calling. So it comes down to a choice between destiny and fate. You have to choose. That's what it says in the book. You must choose. Neither are wrong, but you've got to choose. So I feel that, yeah, I do feel that this relationship is the soul calling. But it is still then up to you to, what you're going for, which choice you're going to make. Could be that maybe first you're going to have another relationship, which is to do with the ancestor calling, so to speak, right? The higher self calling, and not the soul calling. And that is, you probably can't change that. That's probably also karma, right? Because if you're not ready, completely ready for this relationship, you will likely also not hear your soul, the calling either, because the other calling will then be stronger. So I think there is in that sense, not really a whole lot you can do about it. other than being ready for to follow your soul calling. But in order to be ready for that, you might have to get involved with someone else first. I'm not saying that is the case. It can be. It's not for everyone, but it can be possible. Yeah, because we learn from each relationship, and sometimes we need certain relationships in order to be ready for the one and only true wonderful partner from this life for us. Yeah, we can't get there in one go. Often we need other relationships to prep us for that. So it is possible that for some of you, you might have to be involved with someone else first. But if you do feel the soul calling, well, then it's up to you. But if you want this wonderful relationship, I do feel that this is the soul calling. But it is still up to you, of course. So I hope that makes sense. And, well, that was your reading. If you chose this, I hope it resonates with you. Please let me know. And thank you for watching. And I'll see you again soon with another reading, I hope. And wishing you a wonderful day. Bye-bye.